Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things, and I wanted to just share with you an unboxing enveloping. I opened this up and I've been dabbling with my pens and something happened. So I did discover that touching baked chicken helps remove ink from your fingers, so that's kind of a funny thing, which I have mentioned before, but maybe I need to get out some at least lunch meat chicken and see what I can do. I decided to try a different nib. I have this Franklin Christoph, I want to say it's the 03, it's the antique, or yeah, I think they call it the antique glass. I always want to say vintage, but it's antique. It has a effect of having, or being of glass. It's kind of got the little bit of mottled, like seeded glass almost on this part here. It's a really pretty pen. I love the top and bottom, how there's that thickness there. Anyway, I've been playing around with using this nib and I'm liking it, and it's a really nice nib for, I need to play around and figure out the best way to use it, but I have found just in my everyday journaling that this pen writes really nicely. Whoops, extra syllable there, or extra vowel. It's smooth and flows well. I love the size, the thickness of that. I think that's a really cool look. But it's also a fine nib. So this is a fine sig, which is stub italic gradient. And I read on their website, on the Franklin Christoph website, more about that. You can look that up if that interests you. I won't try to define it here because I'm not enough familiar with it to explain it and do it justice, but they have a good explanation there and talk a lot about their nibs. So this is a fine nib, and it's really writing fairly broad here. Maybe it's the ink. I have the Ackerman Bezuieden. It's like the number 27 ink, and I'm very happy with it. I just inked this up the other day. I didn't expect the replacement nib to arrive so quickly, so what I'm going to do is attempt to switch out the nib, and then we'll come back and do a writing sample. But let's just take a quick look at how this arrives. There's a little card in there of their storefront. I'll just stick that in my pen journal, and I ordered the number 6 nib unit HP steel broad. So I thought that was a kind of a good idea that you can switch these out with a pen like this and try different nib sizes. I'm looking forward to trying the broad. That is my general preferred pen size, but I have had some really good experiences lately with some fine nibs too. So I think it just depends on what you're writing, how small you need to write. Before I open that, this can write really small. So with just a little more angle on my hand, I can get this nice, neat writing. It's very clear. And that was one thing that I do remember reading about, is just this nib can give you a real sharp, clear, what do I mean? Why do I keep saying clear? Just defined letter. And by the way, I'm writing on the bank paper. I just tore a few sheets out of those inserts I bought last week. But then I can also write in my normal larger writing, which is more typical for me. Probably because I get in a hurry. But when I need to, I can write finely with this. let's open this up and then I'll pause. I just reviewed the video on the Franklin Christoph website on how to change the nib, and I could try doing that for you. I guess if I make a fool of myself, I can always delete it and you'll never know we had this conversation. So that's cool. Comes in this. Another nice wide nib. I'll refrain from popping the bubble wrap, but I really want to. And just a business card. So these things I will keep in my ink journal for future reference. So I will pause if I need to, but I just watched it, so hopefully I can, well, I have ink in there. I don't know if we want to get ink everywhere. I forgot about that. I may need to empty that. Let's see what happens. So you twist this, and there's that piece. It has a name. I don't know the name of that piece. And you want to, okay, I think we can maybe do this. It's going to be messy, probably. Knowing me, it will be, because if it can get messy and I'm doing it, it will get messy. Okay, I'm setting that over there. And then they said you're just going to squeeze this. You're going to hold it firmly. I know you don't want to crush the feed, but you hold it firmly. Oh, there, that wasn't bad. And you just turn. That comes off. This I will wash later. Be careful with that. I don't want to damage it. It's such a cool looking nib, and I am really liking playing around with that SIG or whatever. F-SIG. But that is such a neat little bottle. That's fun. I will put the other one in there when I'm done. Oh my gosh. So which way does this go? Like this. Okay, I just paused it a minute because my cord fell and I was having a hard time figuring this out, but you basically repeat that process in reverse though. So you hold this firmly and you twist that on here. So the narrower end down. I was getting all disoriented. It was terrible. Okay, and then let's put this back in. There we go. And so far so good. I feel like I'm doing surgery here. Screw that back on. All right, there we go. Let's try this again. Let's go over to the Cosmo paper and see how it does here. Yeah, that's super nice. Franklin Christoph broad nib. Ooh, I like this a lot. Antique glass. I have a bit of a glare here. So pretty wet and flowy, nice broad line. It really makes a difference on the paper, doesn't it? It seems like right at the beginning, sometimes there's a little bit of a skip, but it doesn't really feel dry. This is a nice, really, really nice wet flowy nib. This is going to be super fun to write with. So yeah, I think that purchase was good, and I'm excited about switching out a nib and having a pen now with you know, 2 possible nibs, or nib units, I guess is what that is technically. So thanks for watching along. It was a learning experience for me. So if you're just tuning in, I am not an expert. I am learning the whole fountain pen scene and having fun with it though. But I definitely like that broad nib. It's what I think a broad nib should write like. So I like it a lot. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.